Thank you everyone for coming to the meeting tonight. Looks like the standing room only. And is there any agenda additions or deletions?
Nothing.
No.
No. All right. Approval of the minutes of October 27th.
So moved.
I'll second that.
Is there
Mr.
any conversations?
Chairman, I removed my vote. I wasn't here last meeting.
Okay.
And also, the minutes, did they get correct, Kim?
That you weren't there, you mean?
Right.
I don't think I did. I think I'm gonna have to
Okay.
do that.
So it's just gotta be corrected that you weren't there.
Yeah.
To take out his name.
So, if George is gonna amend his motion with that
I
correction.
certainly do.
Okay, and I'll second it with that correction.
All right, any further discussion? All right, hearing none, all in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? We already signed that, George. But when we get the amended one, we'll have to re-sign.
Initially.
It's just amending the first page, so the
Yes.
signature page is fine.
Okay. Highway,
First off, I'd like to start off, we need to wrap this up on the bids on salt. And we have two bids, one from Cargill and one from Appalachia Salt. The first bid from Cargill for the straight salt, non-treated, was $98.75 delivered here. And the second bid was Appalachia at $99, which is what, 25 cents more.
25 cents.
And then Cargill didn't give us a treated price, but it all runs about the same, about 6
What is that, what's that treated with?
mag chloride
They spray it down.
spray it. And we've done it before, but we found out it's just as cheap to get it delivered here that way with us, because we have to mix it.
Okay.
Loader and,
Well, yeah, for
So are you,
$12.
what are you recommending? Cause you had issues with Appalachia one year, so wasn't it?
No.
that-
No.
Oh, we had issues with Cargill?
well, Cargill.
Okay, sorry.
And the service to Appalachia is top notch.
Okay.
And they also would, the deliveries to sell us, which is, keeps that local for truck drivers.
So it's worth the 25 cents.
It's worth the 25 cents.
I'll make a motion that we approve the Appalachia quote for cash.
I'll second that.
is there any further discussion? All right, all in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Alright,
Anyone opposed?
Next thing I have, we reached out and got 2 bids on removal for, Kevin's not here, is he, for the cemetery? Removal of some trees right here. And we had 2 contractors come. One was, Davy Tree Service. His bid come in at $2,000. And those are the trees that are hanging over the
By the cemetery.
stones of the cemetery. And the second bid, that was 2,000. The second bid was from Benjamin's Tree Removal in Ira, which we've used in the past in town. It's 2,300. So it's $300 more for Benjamin. The way we did it is that they are gonna limb down the trees and chip anything under 5 inches. Anything bigger than that is gonna be just laid there. We as a town can pick it up and take away the bigger stuff.
That's for both quotes,
Yes.
yeah.
Kevin will probably take that for firewood.
What's that?
Kevin will take that for firewood.
Probably would.
oh, we have,
The stuff that gets left behind.
Yeah. We got places we can go with it or whatever.
I would tell you the maple here, it's almost as if it were 4 trees coming up, 4 trunks. One was rotten, came down this way a week or 2 ago in a windstorm. But in looking at that, we saw the rest of the tree has internal rot. It's dying, see bark is dying. And the biggest of the remaining 3, if it comes down and it's all the weight is leaning that way into the cemetery, there's nothing on this side. And if it comes down, it's going right into those tall monuments that we got put up a
That we
couple
just
years
fixed.
ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And so the maple definitely has to go.
And
So-
to add to that, there actually is 2 cherry trees. One is dead, just about, and the other one is headed that direction, so we're gonna do it as one project, the cherry
Right,
trees.
they're right here.
And along the right here.
So are you recommending Valancourt then?
Yes, for $300 last year.
I'll make a motion that we go ahead and approve Valancourt to do the tree work by the
Second.
cemetery.
Seconded by George.
Yep.
Any further discussion? All right, I have to sign this.
On the bottom.
Yep.
Sure, should we sign it after the contract's completed,
I was gonna say, you gotta wait for the contract and
after they
insurance.
do the project?
All right, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
The next thing I have, just a heads up, it doesn't have to be done right now. We have 2 3,000-gallon storage tanks down here that we're treating with the salt, and also we use them in the summertime for dust control. One of them has sprung a leak. I actually contacted the rep, and he came and looked at them, and them tanks are supposed to last like 8, 9 years, and they're like 14 years old, I guess, or 15.
Been there a long
So
time.
they've done their duty, and so now they have a program where we actually lease the tanks, and I gotta read through the contract even finer, but he was explaining to me that they'll supply the 2 tanks, and there'll be a upcharge of like 5 cents, 4 to 5 cents a gallon on product. To cover
So it's basically
the
a
rental.
lease.
Yeah, yeah, and we run about 15,000 gallons a year.
What did you say? They'll give the takes, but then charge a little bit more for the product?
Yeah, they'll upcharge the product 4 to 5 cents to cover the rental, per se.
Which, it's more of a,
So
Yeah,
you know,
If the-
it's gonna be no good when we're done with it.
So
You know, it's
basically
gonna be the same
700
situation as this one right now.
And it's a 3-year contract.
Oh, it's a 3-year contract, okay.
Yeah.
What do you think those tanks run to buy out?
He actually, he had it in his proposal,
Poly
that-
tanks.
and I didn't check the poly tanks, that'd be probably no more than anything, but about 10,000, another 1,000 to get them here. So it's about just over $11,000
Is there, how many gallon,
for 2 tanks.
how many
For
gallons are they?
2 3,000 gallon tanks.
Over 3,000, that's pretty big.
And I actually
Poly
talked
tanks
to
are
him
running
about
around
using
bucket
one
gallon,
pipe.
aren't they?
Plastic is nuts.
Is it gone that high?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're looking about.
You're looking at $750 a year in rent, basically.
5,500 per tank. Yeah.
Why don't you check into a stainless? Lapierre, CDL, all of them are building them. And that won't go bad.
To have a stainless, that would be forever.
Yeah, but do we wanna go, excuse me, a 5,000 gallon tank, 1 unit, or he I highly recommend not doing it. To split them up too, because he said the 2 polys are cheaper than 1 5,000.
Right, but I mean, those, I think that's what we're finding. A lot of guys are going to stainless, doing upright silos.
I mean, a 5,000 gallon upright stainless silo.
Not that big. Most of the guys are like, you know, they're doing 10s and more. 5,000 might be used for permeant water for sugar house, but
Yeah.
it'd be worth checking
It's
on.
probably worth looking into.
We can look into it, yeah.
Yeah, I would go that route, and then it's kind of trouble-free, and if it brings a leak, you can weld it.
Yeah.
I mean, and stainless is gonna last forever.
Should. I have that. Okay, I can do the research on that part.
Where's the, and so you're recommending what for salt bids?
We went with Appalachia.
Yeah. But I didn't see a copy of that. Did you have it over here?
It's right in front of you, that top one. That's
This?
highlighted, that's Appalachia right there. 112.
112 unit.
Yeah, but there's no place where you can sign off.
No, we didn't, you don't have to sign. We just approved.
Very confusing. Anything else?
What,
Ken?
yeah, I was gonna say, do you have anything else,
I
Cash?
guess I'm all set.
Moving right along. Approval of select board
Question.
warrants?
There's a question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What happened to our sand pile?
What's
Huh?
this?
What happened to our sand pile?
The bunker got removed because the tree's gonna be removed.
Oh,
Gotta move the
Easier.
truck.
It's just at the end of the
access.
parking lot though, I think, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, okay. Well, I came down to get somebody, wasn't there?
Oh, it's out there.
Well, I didn't see it out there. I saw, couldn't get it there.
It's at the north end of the parking lot.
I kinda wanna
In
leave the
front of the
bunker
cemetery.
there until day or two before,
Yep.
but I
That's
don't
fine.
know, I was away that day or something, and all of a sudden the bunker, the boys went in, so I said, alright. So we just put a temporary sand pile down there.
Thank you.
Okay, approval of select board warrants?
Right here.
Yep. Anybody wants to take a look at them? Guests? Do you have any guests?
Just let you know where Kevin and I have begun the process of getting quotes for, a new set of maps next spring. At that point, our existing maps will be 3.5 years old, and we, need to have a new set. We begin next summer, the reappraisal, the townwide. There are 4 vendors, one of which is our current one, that have virtually the entire state, covered. So we're going to all 4 of those, and today I saw there's a small handful of towns that have a 5th vendor. So I'm going to be sending something out to them tomorrow looking for quotes. Of the 4 we've already gone out to, 1 is our current vendor, they're going to get us a price. 1 says they'll talk to us. 1 already turned us down, they already got too much work. And the other one, we hadn't heard from yet. But at any rate, we've begun the process to, start getting quotes, and probably in the first quarter, we turn over, 3 years worth of changes that are accumulated, at that point, to begin the process. And part of it isn't just so much the hard copies that we have, here in the office, but the changes feed into the state's VCGI mapping system that we use all the time. We use the Google Earth version of it that, okay, is that shed or garage on, which property is that on? But the appraisers, starting next summer, they use it for the very same reasons. They're looking at a property and, sheds and garages and things, appear that, and, to see which property is it. And the basis of that starts with these maps, because all the changes, the mergers, splits, what have you, all feeds into that system. So it's more than just the hard copies.
sometimes the landowner's information doesn't get transferred over right away. Sometimes I've watched it, it'll take a year.
Yeah, that part's real slow.
Yeah.
We're more concerned with the boundaries.
Yeah.
Because, we're dealing with the parcel and, the appraisers are, itself regardless of who owns it. But yeah, I wish that I had these, obviously naive vision, when we went through all of the work of this new statewide mapping system, that it's like it's all, automated. We
Yeah.
key in, the property has changed hands, the state knows it's changed hands, that I thought it would be real time, but it's not even close. But the maps itself, it's really a very useful tool for
Oh,
us.
yeah.
So at any rate, we've begun the process of getting quotes, and at some point, we'll, come to you folks with that.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Question there.
Go ahead.
If I remember right, did we have issues with the maps not being exactly what we wanted from before?
That was, I think, 2 companies ago we had big problems with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the people we had before the current ones were they lost pretty much all of their accounts in Vermont. The service was just horrendous. We'd submit changes, the maps would come in, the changes weren't there. You got a question, you don't get an answer. I mean, the state is not thrilled with our current maps, by the way. They categorize each town. They have 4 levels of categorization, and I forget the term they're used, but basically it's everything's good, mostly not good, and not good at all. And we're down in that 3rd category. So, you know, hopefully we can get some improvements here with the next map.
Be proactive, as they say.
Yeah.
What's the state not like about the maps?
Well, first of all, ours aren't being updated quickly
Okay.
enough. They say we don't have the rights of way on the map. I'm not even sure we can do that we even know where all the rights of way are. So we probably can't do that. And, you know, they had a couple other small, you know, issues. But, you know, I'm not particularly worried about what the state thinks, but we just need to get updated maps. And it'll have been 3.5 years at that point.
Yep.
Thanks for the update. Appreciate it there. New business.
What, public comments, did you want?
Nobody has any public comments.
Okay.
No, okay. Thanks, George.
Tom, you're up.
Is that a good thing?
Sure. So I understand, I'm Tom Leipold from PIG TV. I understand you folks might be interested in permanent installation for video equipment. Basically how it works is I contact the vendor, which is out of Concord, New Hampshire, and they'll come down and look at the place. It's kind of small in here. Basically, when we do a permanent installation, the control panel needs a place to live forever, so it's a small amount of desktop area. And we have a similar setup at PEG TV in our kitchen studio, if you'd like to come up at any time and see that. But it's best if we can leave the stuff here permanently and not have to detach any equipment. Right now I already have an obligation to the Paramount Theater, so we're waiting for them to finish up some of their renovations, and then we're going to do an install there. I was hoping to have that done in 2025, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen, so it'll probably push that project into next year. So if you folks are interested, I can put you on the list next. And what will happen then is when we get down to where I can start to do it, I come out with a quote from the folks at Key Code, because they'll come down and look at the place and determine what you need. He'll send me a proposal. I'll send the proposal to my board of directors, and I get the amount approved. And if they approve it, and then we can go ahead and do the installation, which typically takes a couple days. So they would come down here one day and get all the cables and stuff laid, and then they would come in and mount the hardware. Is this a suspended ceiling? Can you get on the other side of these tiles? Because what they might be able to do is run the cables to a post or to studs. It doesn't look like they can get inside any of the walls, so we might have to come down with channel like that, depending on how many cameras you need. And basically it would stay here. The benefit of it is that if there's, for some reason, we can't make a meeting, it's not hard to work the stuff. You can just turn it on and hit record and point the camera at you guys, and plus you can record other meetings. You know, if you had other meetings that you'd like to have on video and also aired on PEG TV, it gives you the opportunity, because it's going to live here forever, so it's there for the town at their disposal, whatever you see fit to record. But it's kind of neat. I've done one in Pollitt, we've done one in the City Hall in Rutland, and also in the Longfellow building. And it's much convenient, because I know it takes Bill and Greg some time to break down the equipment and get it out of here. So there's a convenience factor to it. So that's basically it. I did bring a flash drive with some pictures on it that you guys can look at another time.
Thank you.
Yeah, if you have any questions, Kim knows how to get in touch with me. Right, Kim?
I do.
And like I said, you're welcome at any time to stop in PEG TV and take a look. You all know where that is. We're right across from Westminster Cracker in the House Center. So.
I have a question. Initially, I was pretty much in favor of doing this and stuff, but now there's some insurance issues? What happens if somebody breaks in here and steals all this stuff, or who's responsible for it?
The equipment will be on our books, but it will be here permanently. So it's at risk of anything else that's in the building. So it'd be an insurance issue, but it will be on our books. I will have to check with my insurance guy because I'm not sure where that falls. Because if you don't ever plan on taking the stuff out, it's going to be mounted permanently to the walls. But that is a consideration, especially nowadays.
And that's what I was gonna say, primarily it's gonna be mounted on the walls,
Yeah.
right? They're gonna, yeah.
Yeah, so you won't have any of this stuff on the floor. They'll hide everything. Who's got say over what gets done? Because they might need to drill holes and things like that. Is that okay? I know this is probably a historic.
We don't have a cellar.
There's no cellar? Okay, what about,
The crawl space.
can you do,
But you can get down there, right? If you had to, oh no.
Not out, only.
On the furnace room.
okay.
Can't get out under this section.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes
So
sense.
yeah, everything would have to,
Go
Probably through the
ceiling?
suspended
Okay.
ceiling is what they would have to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know how they would put something. You would have to install these at each meeting?
I would probably purchase microphones that would stay here, just so we wouldn't have to transfer those back and forth. And the way they did Paula was they had a connection on the wall that one cord went to, that had all the microphones, and then the cord runs back to the mixer. So you don't have any of this.
So it's just a jack and it just gets
Right.
plugged in and
Right.
unplugged. Yep.
But it's a ways out, so as we get closer to when it can be a possibility, I'll come back to you guys, because the select board has to approve it, you know, so.
And so, I mean, I know you said we would be after the Paramount Theater, probably late 26 then.
Hopefully, yeah,
Yeah.
when they get their restoration done, and
Yeah.
so we already got the plans laid for that, so. And I also have to get board approval, I just can't.
Sure,
So,
sure.
So far, they've been on board with it, and, State of Vermont Public Utilities Commission really likes that we're doing things to help the towns, so.
Is there any kind of a rent fee or anything like that, or is this?
Not unless Greg wants to charge you a fee for his presence. It might charge extra to try to get George's good side.
Well, I can share with my fellow board members that Tom and I've known each other a couple of days, and Tom is one of the few people that probably has a better sense of humor than I do.
Wow,
Oh, wow.
that's quite a compliment.
That's quite the, yeah.
This is Georgism.
Yeah,
You would be a
Georgism.
Tom.
I've heard that word, yes.
Yeah.
Well, Tom and I, for many days, would spar each with different puns and whatnot, and probably we would do tonight, but, you know, we'll take pity on you.
Well-
How big is that mixer? Unit?
It would probably need a space about the size of the chemist taken up. We can get desks that are shaped octagonal, so they're a little easier to get around, but this is a small room, so that'd be something we'd have to talk about,
We have voting in here,
right?
and so that's, when that happens, we have to move all these chairs
Right.
and everything else.
So, yeah, it's another conversation, and it's possible to put all that stuff in a different room. The way Pollitt's laid out, all the camera equipment's in the meeting room, and Bill is in a different room, because he can see everything on preview monitors and everything, so it doesn't actually be here, but this is only a two-room building, right? There's only two rooms here, yeah,
So Bill would still come to the meetings to,
yes, we will cover the meetings regardless of whether you accept this or not, or are in favor
You still have
of
to
it.
have a person at the mixer, basically.
Yeah, yeah. And those guys at Key Code have been doing this for a long time. They've seen many different scenarios, so they may have some suggestions that
I got a crazy notion or thought just to put out there, I guess. We have one upstairs.
not heated though.
It's not heated, but that doesn't mean it couldn't be somehow a small unit contained or whatever.
Yep, that's where Bill would be.
Yeah.
going upstairs, that's a whole nother story.
Seriously.
Well, no, I mean, I think it's a conversation to have. I know the town clerk has expressed some concerns with cameras mounted on the walls because this is the voting place. I don't know if you've run into that anywhere else, if
Yeah.
people have expressed
Yeah.
concerns.
Yeah.
even though we know that they're disconnected, the voters are concerned that they're
Right.
not at that
Yeah.
point. Have you broached that anywhere else?
It did come up at one of the installations, but after the town saw the benefit of having the cameras there, that went to the wayside, and there hasn't been any problems. That is a legitimate concern that people have, because when you see cameras, you automatically think you're being recorded.
Right. Sure.
And you are most of the time when you go somewhere, but yeah.
Do the cameras have some sort of a covering that is easy to use, or?
Back 'em up
Yeah,
or
it's
something.
what we're using now. Some of them come in it's like a portable suitcase, but the portable ones, we can have a desktop and we can cover it with something too to keep it dust and stuff off it. But
Or more for the disguising it so people wouldn't get concerned that they're being filmed or whatever?
oh, yeah. I mean, we could have disclosure and just tell them that this is PEG TV equipment, and
Yeah.
you know, so.
I mean, signage next to it.
Yeah, right,
You know,
that's all.
Signage that just says, you know, hey,
You gotta
Yeah.
pop
This is
back
not-
of the camera
not
or
in
something to
use,
protect
yeah.
it, it's non-use or something,
Right.
you know?
Yep.
I mean, I for one think it's worth seeing the proposal. And,
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, like you say, you gotta come back to us for final approval anyway, so
Right.
we'll, once we hear what they wanna do to the building and what, you know, we can get their scope of what they're thinking, then the board can say yay or nay, right?
Yes.
When those
I
cameras
agree.
are on, do they have like a green light that shows?
I think they do, yeah, I think they actually do.
Because I see the
tally
red light there.
Yeah, and there's a joystick that the operator can control, so it can cut a camera to George, and then it can cut a camera to Mike, and then it can cut a camera to Don. So it makes for a better television program, because the camera's
Because
not
you've
going
got
back
the
and forth all the time. So just like watching a TV show.
Well, again, knowing that there's another step before this is done, I would make the motion to at least authorize the process
Yes.
to begin to get a
Well, make the motion, I'll second it.
All right, so motion made, seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
I am in favor of this kind of approach simply because with the portable equipment, Bill has a lot of trouble getting my good side, which I worry about.
Well, and I mean, like Tom said, there's several towns that have gone to their planning commissions are on there. I mean, we've got other boards that certainly could be
Yes.
recorded, and their meetings could be
Yes,
for the public. So
I think that's a very good consideration.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, plus it makes more programming for us.
Sure.
So too. So what I'll do is Key Code has to come up again to take another look at the Paramount when they get finished. So maybe I can make an appointment for him to just come down here real quick
Sure.
and take a look at the place. I can be in touch with Kim and let you know when that is.
Yep.
Is there someone around that can show up like in a day's notice, or?
Well, we have
Usually somebody here,
Heidi
Monday through
and,
Monday through
Kim.
I
Wednesday,
have a
Yeah,
key
you're
to
on.
the building.
Monday
Okay.
and Thursday.
Thursday, yeah.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for that report.
Yeah.
All right, Regional Emergency Management Committee.
So, I'd make a motion that the chairman sign the form
Yep.
reappointing Craig Knapp as the emergency management director and Matt Jakubowski as the emergency services fire chief.
Second.
All right, is there any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, I'll sign that.
We dropping down to old business?
Huh?
Almost.
Are we dropping down to old business and skipping?
You decline?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Cindy.
You're up.
Alright. In 2008, I came to the board wishing for some lights over here on the railroad crossing. Copy of the letter. I think the railroad refused us. There are 17 and 24, there were 17 railroad accidents in Vermont, which is not good. I did do some research for you. They did do, you can discuss it.
Sure.
They did do, a check in 2024, if you'll notice on the maps. It tells you the exact number of cars according to them, because they use the annual average daily traffic number. So even though 900 and 800 cars went across the bridge, across the rails, they only give us 777 as our average daily. It was also done in July. There's a lot more traffic when school is in session. So the numbers don't necessarily reflect. I would like to see another meeting maybe to see if we can't get the flashing lights. There's been quite a few people crossing there that have heard the train horn. And if you don't have clean underwear in your glove compartment, you're in trouble. So I did give you one sheet. The volume count report tells you the time of day that we had the traffic in July for one day. It gives you that. The second count is 10 days. They say 777 average, but if you take the numbers, the average for those 10 days was 860 some odd cars, not 777. So I'm just asking if the board could go back and
Poke again?
Poke at them again.
Question, what's the difference between this crossing and the one north?
Allocation,
Yeah.
visibility more than anything.
Probably.
I was gonna say, there's more visibility at
Visibility
Alphresia.
on Bid.
Yeah, there is.
There's a lot more disability, plus you don't have all the brush that we have here.
There's a lot more on Walker Mountain.
We don't have a lot of high school kids that are taking the Alphresia Road. They're taking the bridge, they're taking the railroad tracks
Yep.
here.
Yep.
Every year you're getting new students that are, thankfully, we got the yield signs that put up that were bad. But 90% of the people, if you ask them, they don't even know that the yield signs were there. Especially the students. Graduation time in June, we would have a lot more traffic than we have 10 days into July.
Yep.
Because you've got graduation and everything else. So I really think the numbers are a little off. If you look at the map, it tells you how many cars went where in '24. So they've actually recorded it all the way up, actually down into Clarendon Springs.
So when was the last time we sent a letter? What was the date on that one?
This one was, to my knowledge, I don't know if you've done it ever since. Hold on, I gotta find the letter. There it is. July 14th of 2008, if you'd like to see it.
It was 08. Okay, so
17 years ago.
before me then.
17 years.
Yeah, and what they did was after this, they came over and, they had to change out a couple of the ties in that area, but then they just cut some of the brush over, or on the.
Seems
This
to me,
side.
I was gonna say, it seems to me that this has come up, I wasn't here in 08, and it seems like it came up since I've been
I
here.
thought when I first got on the board,
That we were, that
20
we
years ago,
sent
that
something.
we had sent a response to them.
So here's what I'll do. I'll make a motion that we go ahead and squeaky wheel gets the grease. So let's blast our delegation. So the entire Rutland County delegation. Also V-Trans again with Vermont Rail Systems. And I would also say the Lieutenant Governor and the Governor's Office. So let's send to all 5 areas letter saying that we've now brought it up at least twice and we feel that this is an issue.
I think they're holding off until they get ready for Amtrak.
Sure, I'm sure that's part of
That's
this.
what they're doing.
But I'll make a motion that we send letters at least to that group.
And you can request, the back page will tell you, you can request a car count from the Vermont Agency of Transportation to get a car count again out here to see what kind of traffic you're getting at school hours, which might be helpful.
I think it was last year, up on East Timmins Road, they had a car counter,
24, yeah.
because they wanted to see the
The sheriff's.
name the number of cars that came by. Was the sheriff's office?
The thing is, they're not
Well, on
gonna,
the map, it tells you, on 243 cars went across in '24. The second number is the year
Yeah.
that goes with that number.
the thing that I'll say though is they're not gonna do car counts over here now because you'll be plowing potentially.
Right.
So they're not
Yeah.
gonna do car
Right,
counts.
right.
They're not gonna do car counts this time. But I've made that motion that we send letters to the delegation,
Right.
the lieutenant governor, the governor, V-Trans and Vermont Rail Systems.
Because one of the things I did ask Bob Bixby, because he'd been on the board for quite some time, and he can't ever remember having had it done.
It was done in,
Since then,
I
so
remember
I don't
back in
know.
'08, yeah.
Yeah.
But after that, when we started complaining, at least put newer signs up and stuff
Yeah.
like this on the crossing, they came up and again changed out more, I mean, the railroad ties. And then, according to their workers, who got in touch with the hierarchy, transportation, they said they didn't see that many cars there. And, you know, because they were getting on, they would pull their pickup trucks on,
The track.
drop down the wheels and all that kind of stuff. And they said there wasn't that much traffic. So when they have signs that said, you know, the road could be closed, or
Yeah.
people would just go up down Fuchsia Road.
Well, you take this.
Well, it's stranger, I mean, not many cars bothers me, because tonight coming down here, there was a line of 6 cars coming across the flats here, which is unusual. You know, just had the timing right where everybody was coming or going someplace.
We were earlier than
I
two.
think
They were
that,
earlier too, yeah.
I think in our area, you know, the number is more significant to residents than obviously somebody standing there for 5 minutes or whatever. So I think it's a concern. I'll second the motion if nobody else has.
Nobody has it. So the motion made, seconded. The only comment I have would be who's gonna author this letter?
Our administrative assistant.
You did last time.
I gave him one of these.
Want a copy?
Our administrative assistant.
I will be happy to talk with our administrative assistants if the board
Assistant.
members would like to.
And if there's a rough draft sent around, I'm more than happy to give my feedback.
Yep, that's
Yeah,
wonderful.
we do. All right.
Both of those
Got that cleared
crossings,
up.
both of those crossings, you can't see them in the summertime when the corn's up down there and
Yep.
you're in a car.
Yeah.
Or this one right here, the train's gonna be on you, 'cause you can't see it until it's right in the road.
And we
Especially
tried,
when it's headed north.
we as a town tried to trim some of the brush back.
Yep.
Somewhat.
Well, I think, like you say, let's see if we get anywhere with this. And if we do, then we can start pushing on the other one.
All right, there's a motion made, seconded, we've had discussion. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thank you, I'm gonna save this information
Yep.
in here.
Well, it does, I was kind of surprised because it does show you the speed of the cars going across it as well.
Yeah, it used to be, you used to stop and look both ways, now it's,
Yeah. But a lot of your high school kids don't even realize there's a train track there.
all right,
Well, they were concerned with getting their homework done, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm glad.
I don't know what kids you know, George. but-
I think
Old
follow the
business
train tracks
discussion
in the wood,
of,
you end up shooting
the
trains.
ordinance.
Yeah, where is that?
It looks like this.
Yeah.
This is the,
Yes.
the town park area,
Is this
recreational
the,
area.
Yep.
At the last meeting, I was tasked with looking into what it would take to adopt a new ordinance. And I reached out to VLCT, and so I just gave you information on the process.
Did we ask if they had any boilerplate language for us on that? Like, do they have any draft? Sometimes VLCT already has drafted ordinances that we can just
I didn't
adopt for
see
us.
anything on the site, but I think I'm gonna reach out to find out more.
Okay.
Why don't we do that?
Yep.
And we
yeah.
can go over this, anybody wants to, that's sitting here wants to know, procedures and stuff, maybe we can make a copy up for somebody. But, we got, in my opinion, I think I agree with Rob that we see what we can get from,
Yeah, you need the right verbiage, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, like, if we could have some language, some samples, we've done this with other ordinances, if we could get some samples, even put it out on the listserv to other towns and see what they've got that they're willing to share. And then, once it's vetted well, I think like you say, it's gotta go through the process. We gotta post it, and if we don't get appealed in 44 days, then you know it's gonna be law, so.
Mostly where the concern was, of course, was over by the ball field by the airport. What we did was, and you can speak to this, Cash, we got a chain link and put 2 signs on it that, you know, no admittance, or what this sign?
No trespassing.
Yeah,
No
no
trespass.
trespassing.
When did you guys do that? Cause I know the hunter was there on Saturday.
Day before yesterday.
Yeah, okay,
Monday.
So it's just recent.
Yeah, and I don't know, when she took a
Yeah.
lot of the stuff, did she put it back up?
She was going in when they removed the porta potty.
Oh, okay.
That's a temporary, we're looking at put the gates up,
Yep.
and I gotta go to Tractor Supply and see what they have.
Yep.
And I was trying to figure out the opening, if I go with 2 10-foot gates or
Yep. What you gotta have.
What this ordinance will help prevent is having to be posted every year. Is that the way I understand this? Instead of having the town post it every year and make sure the signs
And you'll actually get a couple signs probably for over there in the parking lot that are gonna
Right.
say
as a
per
town
ordinance,
ordinance.
whatever.
George?
Yeah.
you, Michael.
And a good ordinance has a fee structure attached to it, so it's gonna have to have a, you know.
Yep.
And I would say, based on what we're looking at, it's gonna have a pretty hefty fee structure attached to it, so that it's really discouraged.
All right, discussion.
Oh, a fine.
Yeah.
Fine, not
yeah.
a fee for
Well, yeah,
processing.
fine, it's gonna have a
Move
fine.
7B. Oh, and here again, that's, I think Sarah.
I thought we already passed that on to V-Trans.
So, changing a speed limit on a state road is a 2-step process, and the first part of the process is sending a written request to the Agency of Transportation.
Okay.
And that initiates them into looking into the speed, and it goes through a few of their committees.
So I guess my question is, does that written have to come from the board, or does that have to come from a resident?
A town official initiates it. And it was my understanding that you all gave me permission to start that process.
That's the way I took
So
it. That's the way I took it.
I already sent that written request
To look into it.
for them
Okay.
to look into it.
All right, so just for the record, we're in the process now of trying to.
Well, it's in their hands.
First step of the
Yeah.
process,
Yeah,
yeah.
and really, once we've done that, there's nothing more for us. It's a state road, so
Yeah.
the state's gonna do what the state
Yep.
wants to do.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, I say, let's say thank you to Kim and let's
Yeah.
see what happens.
Yeah, thank you, Kim. Because that was my take on it too. I thought we had said
Yes.
to go for it.
Heidi, do you have anything?
Just that we had our first budget workshop tonight that started at 5, right before this scheduled meeting. And our next budget workshop will be right before the next regularly scheduled select board meeting, which will be November 24th. So, and that workshop will start at 5 PM. They are open to the public. So yeah.
Okay, that's good, thank you. Kim, do you have anything else?
No, I don't.
Bob? For the cemetery committee? Kevin, give me any messages?
No, you're going to soon see in front of, I think, the initial batch between Chip and Hook here and the Marsh Cemetery. I think there's 27 tombstones that are either sufficiently deteriorated, you can't really read them anymore, or in a couple cases gone altogether, but we know who's there, you just got a little remnant on the ground. Maybe, this high, but small aluminum signs in the same green and gold that the front signs are going to be. It's basically matching when we know what the tombstone itself said. Some are, James, son of so-and-so, died on this day at,
Cool.
this year's. Or others may say in memory of, if that's what the tombstone said. But trying to match the tombstones. And it's the first batch of, I think it's 27 in all. And then next spring, we're going to do a more thorough review using old compilations of what was in these cemeteries to see what else, there is. to do the same thing.
Is there a case of you guys removing some of the old stones, or are you just going to?
I was gonna say, the markers are gonna stay, you're just gonna add this so
Yeah.
people know what's
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, what's left of the stone, is
Stays.
still there. And as you know, Kevin has repaired many, many
Yes, he does.
stones. But some of those stones, there's not a whole lot left to them.
They're
Right,
deteriorated.
just a piece
You
of
know,
marble
the-
that's worn out
you know,
over
The
time.
white marble doesn't.
Especially the marble, a lot of them have just dissolved, literally dissolved.
He's really been proactive.
But whatever is there is staying there. We're not removing, anything.
Yep.
We're just trying to identify for posterity, who's there? Whose stone was this?
Cool,
Those
that's,
maps.
And they're very nice. I mean, they'll match the signs, up there, waiting to be installed.
yeah, I think Cindy just said the maps, I think that's one of the things you're using, right, the cemetery maps?
Well, what we're using primarily is Margaret Jenks' 1991 survey of our cemeteries.
Oh, okay.
And, literally every stone and plot that she could identify is in her published books.
Cool.
And so Kevin and I are using, the book for Clarendon. I've got the set for the entire county. But, she did do the entire county. And she had some assistance in a few cases from Don Hans, who, passed
Yeah.
away a year or so ago, who was like a premier historian for this area, helping fill in some of the blanks. Because even in 1991, there were some stones that weren't particularly readable, but they were able to fill in some of the blanks. And I recently, through the Historic Society, came into possession of the notes that a professional genealogist from over near Albany had done, like in the 1920s. She was over here in the Marsh Cemetery in Chippenhook doing research for whatever, and she read 54 stones between those two cemeteries for whatever her project was. 8 of those stones aren't even here anymore.
Wow.
Because I took her notes and I reviewed in the cemetery and reviewed against Margaret Jenks' book. And her book, 1991 compilation, knew who some of them were, but the stones were already well deteriorated. And a few of them, literally 8, they're gone now,
Wow.
a century later. And they're mostly, those old marble stones that just haven't held up.
Yep.
And so those are the real sources that what we have. Because the cemetery maps that you might have here in a vault, those would be who owned the plot, as opposed to the individual burials.
Who in the
within
family
that
was
plot.
actually in each spot, yeah.
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 Yeah. And additionally, next year, we might try to come up with a sign for the known pauper areas where we do. I have lists of all these going through Old Town reports of, indigent burials, that, the town provided for. And rarely did they ever get any kind of stone. You just know, okay, they're all over there, kind of thing.
Now, have you guys did any research on some of the private stones, like Potter's and the house?
All of,
house.
even all of those cemeteries are in, this Margaret Jenks book.
Oh, okay.
But we haven't done any work, in them.
You're focusing on the town cemeteries first.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, thank you. It's a good update. Thank you.
Yeah.
Kevin showed me a picture of the green and gold signs. They look really cool.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
do. They're matched what you see over in the corner there. The
Cool.
signs that'll go and,
It'll last for a while.
yeah, they're aluminum.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
What's the
Don,
plan?
you have any?
When's the plan?
It's just waiting to go with my post hole digger. Dig holes, hopefully before the ground freezes on us here. We've already went last Saturday, Kevin and I went and, for those 27 stones, getting the signs now, and got, the posts in the ground for those, but those were just pounding them into the ground. These we gotta, dig holes, you know, but
Don't take
basically
it
they
too
match.
deep, you're liable to run into somebody. Oh, Jesus, I can see it all now.
Well, there were a couple you banged into underground, we didn't know there was a base.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, okay, you know, move it over a few inches.
See it all now. Donnie, you have anything?
Just one thing, Mr. Chair. I was just wondering if anybody went to the recreation field from the audience or from the board to the Veterans Day celebration
Yeah, there was
yesterday,
about
and
70
the
people.
weather wasn't very good, I know that, but.
It was about a little over 70. I'm not,
Good.
Sarah took the number count, but that was really good.
Good.
Art Peterson
Good.
kind of ran the thing. We had a stage that somebody had. I don't know where they got it from, but it was pretty good.
Nice.
Plus,
You had Mill River.
All the band was there,
band,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
they did a good job. We had them
The
undercover.
whole thing was really very, very nicely done.
Good.
Ashley came over with food, and so there was a line temporarily when, okay, it's food time.
Burgers, dogs, and, you know, they had a sheet cake
Yeah.
and
Cool.
hot cocoa and coffee, and it was really very nicely done. And it
You
was
got
cold.
snowed on the whole time.
Yeah, it did.
It was like 28 degrees, and
Right.
the snow
Good,
was
good.
flying and winds blowing. It was cold.
The young kids did a good job helping out and handing out drinks and stuff
Yeah.
like this, so
Yeah.
that was really
The
decent.
whole
that
thing,
they
very
got
well
involved.
done.
Nice.
You have anything?
I do not have anything tonight.
Me either. George?
Yeah, just a quick thing, I guess. We brought up the name of Kevin earlier, and I'd like to share a little bit with you. I first met Kevin many years ago when he brought his son to Stafford to take a night welding class, and we had several conversations over the time that his son was in the class. And I came away with the conclusion that he was a fine fellow, and that he was certainly committed to the place that he lived in many ways. And later on, some years ago, I met him out here in the cemetery, way before he started doing any of the work on the cemetery. But he was there working on a relative that was buried over here, and I forget what he was doing, but he was doing something around the gravesite.
Isn't that where they were trying to put the stone back there?
No, it was before he started putting anything, well, I don't know about what he was doing there, but he was, and we had a conversation at that time. And then, as time went on, he became more and more interested in, and we now see the results of his first efforts, along with the fact that he's gotten some folks to get involved with him, Bob being one, to upgrade the appearance of all of our cemeteries. And I think it's a very commendable effort that he's been putting in. And one of the things that crossed my mind as I thought about the fact that some years we honor our citizens with a picture on our cover of our town report. And I was wondering if maybe this might be a time that we could say thank you to him and his efforts by doing something of that nature. So I just thought I'd throw that suggestion up there. I'm done.
With the celebration they just had at over the rec field, I think us as board members, my thought is, should have been one of us, at least one of us board members there, and actually kind of work with Art Peterson with opening it up, of welcoming and stuff, just from the select board. That, I mean, it is our community that we're running. That's all I can say.
You did take part, right?
Yeah, well, what I was saying and thinking is probably on a short speech paragraph of welcoming, help, you know, have presentation there,
There is
because we are part of the,
There is some consideration with Norm Flanders and a few of the folks that
Yeah.
helped set up and stuff about between the firehouse and the elementary school to put a veterans
memorial.
memorial right over there too.
Yeah.
And that was, we discussed that a couple years ago
Ah.
when the other principal was in there. And then it was brought back up again when we were setting up stuff. So that may be, you may be hearing some information about that, so.
That's all I got to say.
Well, the only other thing that I'll add to that, as we're closing out, is we had discussion, years ago, because our honor wall up front only has World War I and World War II at this point. And I don't know if you have to reach out to Army Affairs or, the Veterans Affairs offices, but to start the research process to get the rest of the walls constructed. And this is specific for Gold Star, so in other words, it's those that were actually killed in action. But we really should, the Korean,
Upgrade.
we need to look into Korean, Vietnam, and the
And
more
everything
recent, and get the rest of them
So
up.
with that being said, the VFW and stuff, actually, they're gonna put a monument up with, soldiers that were killed in action at the park in the city, so it'd be all about the same as like that, but
But specific to Clarendon.
To Clarendon, yep.
And what we talked about is, I think at the time we had talked to you about, could we build walls that would kind of match the design and and the plaques, the big plaques would look the same,
Yeah.
And that's something that I think we need to circle back around to and have discussion about again.
That's all I got to say.
I think your comments are great, Cash, and, I had every intention of being there, but like they say about all good intentions, I had some things come up that I just couldn't make it, but I really wanted to be there.
It was interesting. Very good. All right,
Make a motion to adjourn?
Second.
is any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Anyone opposed?